Hey there folks, Marks and you're back once again in the flesh making our vinyl update. So yeah, like usual, we got 5 records and yeah, haven't done a video in like 2 or 3 weeks maybe. But finally got all my records in the mail. And there's no metal this time around, but next time around we'll probably have some more of metal. But for now we got some indie stuff, we got some pop stuff, and got some 80s inspired electro stuff. So yeah. Let's get started. In the background, we're listening to none other than the Wipers with Land of the Lost. Some great 80s rock, post-punk inspired stuff from '86. Great band, great album, although terrible artwork, unfortunately. Sometimes just that's the way it is, I guess. So, starting off with the first record of this video. We got some indie rock from none other than Canada. This is Arcade Fire with the Suburbs, back from 2010. Arcade Fire is a great indie rock group from Canada, and this is probably the most well-known record, I'd say. The first records are quite loved as well by the fans, I'd say, but this record definitely stuck with me the most. Never really cared too much for the first album. It's good, but never really loved the album. Neon Bible, the second one I believe, is pretty darn good. But this definitely is the one that stuck with me the most. This is definitely what I listen to the most. Comes on a gatefold, really nice presentation. And this as well, some glossy gold font on the back. Yeah, so a lot of catchy stuff on this album. I believe they won like a Grammy for this or something like that. I think it was a Grammy. I don't really follow the awards too much, don't really care about that shit too much. Inner Print Sleeves comes on black vinyl. I believe all of these records on black vinyl. Compared with other indie rock, I suppose, they're definitely a lot more multi-instrumental. In that regard, definitely got a lot of different instruments, a lot of band members when I play live and stuff. But yeah, definitely very, very great songwriting on here compared to their first album. Definitely a lot more solid. Probably why they won a Grammy or whatever. But yeah, great stuff overall. If you're in the mood for some indie rock stuff with a bit of a bigger vibe, a bit of a more instrumentals going into it, some great songwriting, some catchy lyrics, and yeah, just overall good stuff. Arcade Fire is great with the Suburbs. Got also quite cheap as well, so definitely was worth it. And yeah, great album. Moving on to another Canadian band, which is also an indie rock band. Going with that theme. This is Alvvays with their self-titled release from 2014. So yeah, this is a very, very Smiths inspired indie rock. The thing with this album, for the most part, is it's very, very catchy. Like every single track on here is really, really catchy, which is the main reason I got this. It's a very good summer album. It's very fun. It's very, very catchy. Hell of a catchy. And also really enjoyed this photo here. I don't know where it's from, but it's really cool. Definitely interesting choice for cover art. But yeah, this is very inspired by like something like the Smiths, I'd say. And it's just very, very catchy, very fun. Comes with inner print sleeves with the lyrics on here. Black vinyl. Yeah, this is some great stuff. If you're in the mood for some indie rock, more simplistic, definitely not as multi-instrumentalist as Arcade Fire. A bit more stripped down, but you know, just some typical, but just really well done, catchy indie rock. Check out Alvvays. And I believe this is the only album they've put out thus far, but I'm pretty sure they have an album in the works. But for now, if you're interested, check out their first self-titled album from 2014. Moving on to a really great, another Canadian artist, going along with the theme. This is some great, hell of a poppy stuff. This is Grimes with Art Angels. Holy shit, this album really grew on me. I started listening to Grimes back when she released Visions, which is her last album, which was quite a while back. I think I was still living at home. I got that album. Just a great album, definitely more chill. This, however, is really poppy. A lot of bangers and stuff on here. Just a great fucking album. Also, a really nice presentation on the record itself here. Got some gloss going on. This is Gateful. And a really cool thing about Grimes is that she actually does like not only the music, she also does like the artwork herself. From what I heard, she also does like the choreography for the music videos herself, and her music videos are really great. So if you're interested, definitely check out some of her music videos, because damn, very colorful, very fun, very just well done. She definitely has an eye for style. This comes with a bunch of art prints. Some of these are, I believe, characters, which are in the lyrics for the album. I guess it's somewhat of a concept album. Very cool. She definitely has her own style, although this is quite anime, manga inspired. She definitely has her own style to it. Yeah, definitely cool presentation for the album. And yeah, I think that's the most interesting thing, because you don't see it a lot in pop, is that, you know, an artist like Grimes who does like all of her shit herself is really cool. This one's really nice. We like this guy as well, with the toothbrushes. Reminds kind of like a hair troll, but with his brains open. Yes, some great stuff. And yeah, as I said, compared to Visions, this is definitely a lot more poppy. And yeah, especially like a track like Kill the Maim. That's a banger, man. Some great stuff. And this comes in a regular black one. Yeah, so if you're in the mood for some really poppy stuff, give Grimes a try. Yeah, I said this album definitely grew on me, because the first time I heard it, I didn't really care for it too much. I thought it was alright. But I came back to it like a month or two later, and holy shit, I love this album. I don't know why, but it's really catchy, it's really fun, colorful, just great stuff. Really enjoy this. It's on 480. Good stuff. Check out Grimes. Moving on to a non-Canadian artist, but a French artist. This is Kavinsky with Outrun. If you've seen the movie Drive, you've probably heard his track Nightcall, which is one of the first tracks played in the movie. First one being Tick of the Clock, I think, by the Cro-Magnons. Something like that. Yeah, this is definitely some very 80s inspired French electro. Some great stuff. As I said, very in the same style of the soundtrack to the movie Drive. So if you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. It comes with independent sleeves. And this album was done back in 2013, I believe. I know he's released an EP as well, but this is his only full length, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, not much to say. It's definitely very much French electro inspired, like Justice, I guess, with the whole 80s vibe around it. There's also like a hip hop track on here, like an MC under. I don't know, because no one's credited on here, so I don't know who the MC is, but that track was decent. I definitely got this for the more electro stuff. That's the good stuff on here. So yeah, if you're in the mood for some 80s neon-drenched night drive music, check out Kavinsky. Moving on. Ooh. Oh crap. Records are falling off. The sleeves are way too soft, I guess, because everything keeps sliding off. To the final record of this video. This is Foxygen with their EP, Take the Kids Off Broadway. Not a Canadian artist, but they're American, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Foxygen, of course, is like a definitely really interesting psychedelic mix of a bunch of different old school artists. I feel like inspired by Bowie and the Kinks and a bunch of different stuff. This is on Jaguar. Got this for quite cheap as well. Some great price on this. I think I gotta get their full length as well, but this was definitely worth it because there's some awesome tracks on here, like Make It Know, which is probably my favorite track by these guys. I believe Preoccupations, formerly known as Viet Cong, is also in Jaguar. Another great band. Yeah, some definitely very 60s inspired, very some really cool, interesting effects and stuff on here. Definitely old school inspired, but with new twist on it. This is back from 2011 or 12. Yeah, some great stuff. If you're into more 60s psychedelic stuff, as well as just like classic rock stuff like Bowie, chill out. If you haven't checked out Foxygen yet, please do so. Great EP from them. So yeah, those were all the records I had for you today. Sorry if I was a bit chaotic today, if things falling off. My friend's about to come over. But yeah, those are all the records I had for you today. And next time around I'll probably give a bit more metal. But for now, that's all I had to show you. And until then, have a good one.